What we're trying to say is that we need to explore further what does it mean to be created in the image of God. Let's do that a little bit later on in our discussions. There have been a lot of speculations. What is the image of God? Some people say it's our soul. Do you agree with that definition?
Why not?
Huh?
Our soul is a part of God.
Our soul is not a part of God. That is simple. Our soul is in the image of God. Yeah. How about our body? Is our body in the image of God? What do you think? And if you destroy somebody's body, so the body is part of the image of God. Look at your text. Does it make the distinction between body and soul?
No.
Chapter 1, verse 27. No. So the body is included in the image of God, correct? Very good. Other people say that the image represents the capacities with which we are born. But it's different from likeness. Likeness is something that we attain. Do you notice that in verse 26 it says, let us make humankind in our
Image.
and
Or likeness.
stop. And in verse 27, God, so that was the counsel. We'll do this, image and likeness. And the result is, verse 27,
His image.
just image. It doesn't say likeness, right? So some people are speculating maybe there's a difference between image and likeness. Image, something is with which we are born, our capacities. Likeness is if we use those capacities really well, we become like God. So, everybody here is made with bones and muscles, right?
Yes.
Some of us bench 45 pounds. Other people, football players, can bench 300 pounds, right? Some of us can run 1 mile and then, right? I recently ran a full marathon, 26.2 miles. All recording. There we go. 26.2.
No, I said that's 26.1 miles more than I can run.
Oh, okay. I have a sticker with 26.2 on my car, and I'm going to buy one for my wife. It says 0.01. How much longer? So anyway, but why was I able to run this much? Why would a football player be able to? Why do you do math much better than I do? Because you are exercising these things, right? Because you are exercising these things, the capacities. So once you exercise your capacities, the image, you perfect them, and it becomes more like God. So if God endowed us with feelings, and we don't pay for that. If God endowed us with reason, we don't invent atomic bombs. We invent a cure for cancer. If God endowed us with free will, we don't choose wrong, we choose good. If God gave us this body, we don't use it for our passions, we use it to help others and to help ourselves. Does that make sense? So some are saying that's what likeness is. We Orthodox Christians love to speak about divinization, deification, theosis, maybe you heard the term, Îndumnezeire in Romanian. That's what we mean. And it's not just for some recluse monk under a bush. It's for everybody. Understand? It's for everybody. You had a question? Or was the comment?
Yeah, I was about to say, well, some people are physically incapable of doing some things. Like,
Yeah.
some people are paralyzed.
Yes? Are they created in the image of God?
Yes.
Yes.
So it shouldn't be our limitations.
So somehow, when we say the image of God is body, soul, all our abilities, we should not consider the others as less than human. Very good.
Also, there's people who seem to be better at doing things. For example, I can try to paint as much as I want, but it won't come out good.
I understand you. Looking at my little Rebecca painting that I can go, wow, so much talent. She's also my girl, but still. Yes. We all have different talents. And whatever we have as a talent is what we're supposed to do, and that's what we're going to be asked to do. Believe me, nobody will force you to play in a band if you don't have a musical ear. Right? And God will never fault you for such a thing. If you are not endowed by God with a good voice, God will not blame you for not singing in the church choir. That was was not his gift. But maybe you have other gifts. How do you use them? So it would be a really interesting exercise for all of you to think of 3 gifts that you have. And then how do you use them? You're all in that part of your life where you're wondering, what am I going to do? Right? Are you thinking about college? Some of you? Declaring the major? Minor? Where do you want to go? By the way, shoot very high. Shoot very high. Don't go to small colleges, but the big ones. Be good. Study hard. Okay? Study very hard. Seriously. I'm very serious. Ask a lot of yourselves. Do not be mediocre. So, what are your gifts? Use them well. And you should think about that. How will I make this world better? That's how you choose what you're supposed to do. What am I endowed with? What are my gifts? How can I make this world better? And believe me, there are so many things in which this world needs to be a bit better that your gifts are going to be good enough and you're going to be able to use them. Not everybody has to be a rocket scientist. Not everybody has to be a great musician. But somebody has to be good at music, somebody has to be good at rocket science, somebody has to be good at computers, somebody has to be good at cell phones, somebody who's not good at cell phones is better at texting, which is frying your brains. So let's come back to Genesis chapter 1. I know. Chapter 1. What else does it tell you about God? In your discussions, did you find out anything else? You want to think some more? Don't need to put you on the spot. Okay, go ahead. He created the heavens. Do you notice the plural? Do you notice the plural? Okay, let's say the prayer Our Father in English. The first verse.
Our Father who art in heaven.
Singular, right? Now say it in Romanian.
Care ești în ceruri. Ceruri.
Maybe it's one kind of multiple heavens. Like a small component stories.
Ton of heavens. St. Paul says that he ascended up to the 3rd heaven. And when he went there, he saw things that he cannot describe in human words. As a matter of fact, later on, there are some people called Gnostics. These are people who are dualists, who think that the earth is bad. They made so many more heavens to be hard to get to God. They said there are 365 heavens. Which is really interesting because Jews go by a lunar calendar. This one has something like 28 days, and the year is not 365 days. But it was one way in which those people were trying to impose the solar calendar. By the way, when I went to Jerusalem, I happened to have here my binder. We met July 17th through 25th, 2013, or 10th to 18th, month of the year 5773.
You go to the future and back?
Huh?
You went to the future?
No, it's how many years since the creation?
No, since the creation of the world. You see, because seriously, this is how they write these things in Jerusalem. Excuse me. That's the list with all the rabbis I've met, so I better put it there. Yeah, but it's very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting, because people measure the years very differently. They had different ways of measuring the time, which of course will lead us into our discussion, but maybe a little bit later on. I don't think we have time today to talk about time and... Yeah, we have 21 more minutes. That's great. My dear friends, how about we go through the text a little bit? You want to?